What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Jared Williams Show. We got a good one for you today. We got our good guest here, Mr. Eddie Barkhurst. What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. How are you doing?
Doing
good.
Doing good. We got a Wahoo employee now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically we have 2 employees, but we got our first Wahoo plumber.
Mm-hmm.
We got some vans getting built out. Pretty dope.
It's nice to see that coming along.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit, what we're doing in there, how we're doing it a little different. And today we're going to talk about if you want your home service business to be profitable this year, then this is the video for you. We've got 6 things that most people miss out on, that if you could do them and do them just kind of halfway well,
Yeah.
you'll probably be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
You look really excited.
Dude, I'm super excited.
Okay. What is white phosphor?
White Phosphors, they're like a merch company. They teamed up with Finance and Maneuver and made this sick shirt.
Cool.
They do like shooting content and mainly just FM does shooting and parachuting and skydiving content, but they also do a bunch of other charity work. White Phosphor, as far as I can tell, is just into making sick merch.
Sick sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, before we get in today's topic, this video is brought to you by PlumbLine. They're super awesome. PlumbLine is a 24-hour answering service that will answer your phones literally 24 hours. They have U.S.-based, English-speaking, normal people that are actually really highly qualified to answer your phone and book calls straight into your CRM. So whether you're a one-truck Chuck or you're a multi-million-dollar plumbing operation, there's times where you just can't get to the phone. Either your CSRs are busy, they're sick, it's lunchtime, whatever, or it's after hours and you don't have somebody to work after hours answering the phone. Or if you're the business owner and you're in a crawl space or you're with a customer and you're usually the one that answers your phone, you're probably missing more calls than you think, and missing calls costs you an insane amount of money. If you miss 10 calls and your average ticket is $2,000, there's $20,000. So in order to offset that, you can hire PlumbLine to answer your phones whenever you can't or whenever you don't want to, and they will do a very good job booking those calls straight into your CRM so you can get out to that house, serve that customer, and make more money. Go check them out at plumlineanswers.org. Awesome company. We use them on all of our companies. Can't speak highly enough about them. And if you tell them you heard about them from the Wealthy Plumber or the Jared Williams Show, you go get 1 week of free booked calls. If you love them, keep them. If you hate them, get rid of them. But you're going to love them. All right. So if you want a home service business to be profitable this year, watch this. If you could pick one thing, like, because we talk to business owners all the time that aren't profitable or are profitable, if you could pick just one thing, just one, if you had to narrow it down to like, what's the most common reason people aren't profitable? What do you think it is?
Well, the conversation that we have seemingly the most is about setting their pricing and figuring out what to charge, how to charge, how do I charge for this type of job?
Yep.
What are you guys charging for this type of work? I know we charge like this, but what about this specific type of work? How do we charge for that?
Yep.
That's the most commonly asked question.
I agree. And I think it is. I think it's a big mistake. And when you're not priced correctly, all the other stuff doesn't matter.
Right.
And so it's probably the most important thing. So we'll talk about that. But I think that the common mistake is just a misunderstanding of the business as a whole. Like even somebody who prices correctly could still go out and totally foobar the whole thing.
Sure.
And so there's multiple pieces that have to the thing has to work as a whole. You can't just have one part of it figured out and not the other part.
Sure.
There's like an organizational structure in the business. There's when the call comes in, what do we do with it? How do we book it? And how does the tech go out to that call? And what do they do when they're at the call? And then what do we do after the call?
Mm-hmm.
Who does what? I see a lot of business owners just trying to do too much stuff or They're like putting the cart before the horse. They want to get out of the field, and so they get out too early. Those kinds of things. We'll talk about that. Okay. Let's talk about pricing correctly.
Yeah.
And then we'll move into some of these other things. These are all the things I have on this list. I have 6 things. They're all pretty basic things which is funny because when I go to, like, I've gone to Pantheon twice. I've gone to a few events, and it's like hearing from like the big PE firms. People always ask, what are you focused on? And it's always the basics.
Yeah.
It's always like these 6 basic things.
Mm-hmm.
And they all say, if you can just get like the basics down, you can make this happen. And so we'll break that down today. So pricing, the basics of pricing is what?
You gotta sell the thing for more than it costs you to
Amen.
provide it.
Okay. In order to sell it for more than it costs, you have to know how much it costs.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
and too many people call around their area and find out what everybody else is charging.
Yeah.
And maybe they average that up, and they land right there in the middle, and they charge the same that, or close to the same that everyone else is charging.
So if you were to do that, you would average it and land in the middle.
That's not what I'm saying. I would.
But I mean, like, let's say you don't know what you know. Back in the day, if you were to start a business and you don't know what you know right now, would you have landed in the middle?
I mean, that's the strategy that I've seen a lot. I mean, you get an idea of what this service goes for in your area, and you don't want to be too far outside of that, because landing in the middle sounds like you're going to gain the most amount of customers, which means you'll capture the most amount of revenue, which means of available revenue out there, which means you're going to make the most amount of money, seemingly.
I think most people go do that and they find the cheapest guy and they go slightly cheaper.
Oh yeah.
There's probably both, but like that's what we did. When, like, me and Jason, when we first started J&J, I called around, and it was, I think the cheapest guy I found was 105. So we started at 90.
Oh, no kidding.
$90 an hour, yeah. And
this is what it should be able to sell to everyone, I suppose.
Yeah, and then we had an electrical friend. His name was Jesse Rutinsky. Cool guy. Owned, what's the name of his company? You know, you met him, yeah?
I don't remember.
Anyway,
I don't know.
Had electric. Oh, Two Rivers Electric.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was $80 an hour, and he'd been in business for like 3 or 4 years. And
you're like, oh, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I remember asking him about his pricing, and he was just, he didn't have a good answer, and neither did I. So
sure,
it made me think like, oh, maybe 90's too expensive. Maybe I should go to 80.
Oh dang.
Yeah, and so we went from 90, and we were like, man, we're not making money, so we went to 105, and we thought it was like wild. And then shut that business down, and then I started J-Rod's Plumbing, and I knew 105 wasn't enough, so I went to 120, and I thought that was insane. And then at the end of the year, I didn't make any money, and so I went back to work for somebody else. I ended up starting J-Rod's again, and then I was like, I'm going to be 140, because that's going to make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm going to be like almost the most expensive. Rockies was 155, and they were the most expensive in town outside of Altro, who you couldn't get an hourly rate because they were the only flat rate company in town. And they were just crooks ripping people off. And then I did business for an entire year at 140, and I made a lot more money that year. Not because I was 140 an hour, but because I worked my ass off that year. But I worked like 3,000 hours, 4,000 hours, something like that. Basically worked all year, every day, and made less than I would in my normal job. Like, by the time I subtracted out all my business expenses and materials and all that stuff, I was at like $90K retained earnings,
Mm-hmm.
including the owner pay that I paid myself. And I was like, man, I make like 120 at work.
Right.
And
Jobs suck.
and I get health insurance and benefits, and I only have to work half the amount of time. And then when I started Prospector, it's the first time I actually sat out and like figured out how much it cost me to run the business
Mm-hmm.
and how much time I actually had available to sell. And I went from 140 to 259,
Mm-hmm.
which put me in that alteral bracket where they're just crooks ripping people off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so hard for me to go charge that.
Yeah.
Mentally,
Yeah.
emotionally. There's like, it felt wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But then I would look at the math and I'd be like, it's not wrong. It's math. Like this
You
math.
showed me the math. Like when you told me the number, I was blown away. I was like, dude, good luck.
There's no way you're screwed.
That sounds crazy. And then you showed me the math and I was like, actually, what this tells me is every place else is underpriced. Like the place I came from, my father-in-law's shop, way underpriced.
And then you start putting the pieces together like, oh, so maybe they're not making any money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're always stressed about buying a tool or an expensive part, or
Mm-hmm.
I went 20 minutes over on this job, or
I was a tech in the field when I worked for my father-in-law, but I saw a bit behind the curtain because he was my father-in-law.
Yeah.
And so I was exposed to all kinds of different conversations about the business and whether or not something is working. And I got to see the stress that took place outside of my normal day-to-day.
Yep.
And like if I could summarize it, he needed more money coming in. And
He did.
I tried to be that in that I tried to just get jobs done quicker and better and less problems. And I thought that was the fix.
Yep.
When I mean, well, that's a component of it. I think that the real fix would have been to charge what the service was worth.
Yeah.
And he was like I described in the beginning, find the average. Apparently there was some company or person or service that would call around every year or every couple of years and would ask the business owner or manager what their rates are.
Yep.
And my father-in-law would get this call, and he liked getting this call because he wanted to see where on that spectrum he landed.
Mm-hmm.
And he always liked to land comfortably in the middle.
Mm-hmm. For no particular reason.
Yeah.
No good reason.
It seemed like, yeah, if he had a reason, I never knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But he just seemed like he felt comfortable landing in the middle. Like, I'm not way underpriced. I'm not way overpriced. I'm priced seemingly correctly. So I know we're doing this thing right. Let's continue.
Yep.
And so then I felt like my role was okay, knowing that he felt that we were comfortably priced, but also seeing behind the curtain and knowing that he would have been okay with making more money. Okay, my role now is to just perform better on these jobs. And no amount of perform better on these jobs was able to get us out of the troubles we were in.
I remember working there. They were $160 an hour at the time. It was just a little bit before I started Prospector.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember him saying he wanted to get 8 hours billed a day. And I was like, okay. And then I'd go out in the field and I'm like, this is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way to get 8 hours billed out every single day.
12, I might be able to bill 8.
Yeah. If I work 12, 13, 14, 15, sure. But I can't work 8 and bill 8.
Mm-hmm.
And And like the whole thing didn't work very. I remember going to work on the oil-fired boiler at Chevron.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know which one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there and I'm writing down my time card and I'm like, okay, they want 8 hours billed a day. And so I need to make sure I'm accounting for all of the time I spent at this boiler. And I was there with another guy for a big portion of it. He was useless, but I was like, we got to bill for his time too. And the bill was actually pretty big. But then I remember like giving my time to your father-in-law and he was like, oh, we can't bill that. And then shortening down the time frame And then I remember hearing him like on the phone with Chevron griping about how much the bill was. And so he lowered it even more.
Yeah.
It's like, holy moly. Okay. And then, yeah, just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing what I know now, I'm like,
Yeah.
no wonder it didn't work.
Yep.
Can't do that. We just wouldn't do work for Chevron at that point.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a customer I can make money on. Yeah. So.
Well, that was the waste oil boiler, right?
It was, yeah.
And so, and I never understood that mindset. Like when you go get an oil change, part of what you're paying for is proper disposal of that oil that you just had changed.
Right.
Well, they would take it and they would just dump it into their waste oil tank.
Yeah.
And then, so you were paying them to burn your waste in their unreliable, janky, terrible, poorly built boiler and heating system, and then which demand a ton of maintenance to begin with.
Yeah.
And so then when you have to give a ton of maintenance, which comes with a bill, they get upset about it.
Yeah.
Like that's an odd one. I hated going over to that place.
So did I. Mainly because I hated working on the waste oil boiler.
Yeah.
But because it was dirty as all get out.
It was nasty.
It was awful. And you couldn't get parts for it.
No.
It was always like, if it didn't run, it was like, I'm going to be here a while.
Yep.
Yeah. So my idea of pricing since back in the day when I first like put down my costs on a spreadsheet and said, okay, I'm working 2,000 hours a year. This business cost me X amount of dollars. I'm only going to bill out. I think I started at like I figured I could bill out 70% of my time, which is maybe as an owner you can, but it's pretty unrealistic to expect out of your guys. And then I boiled that down to an hourly rate, basically. Said, okay, well, 70% of 2,000 is. Can you do that math?
Nope,
dude. We need a mathematician on this podcast. Hold on, I'm just gonna do it real quick.
Jamie, look that up. What's 70% of?
So that'd be 1,400 hours that I had available to bill out. And so I remember my hourly rate came to $259. So it was $362,000 for me to just run my one-man ranky-dank little plumbing shop out of my house. And I was like, when I added that up, I was like totally flabbergasted that that's how much it cost me to run my business. And I didn't know how to look at my P&L back then. Like I looked at my P&L and I was like, this looks magical.
What is this?
Where's all that money that it says that I made?
Yeah.
Where did it go? Because I have no idea. Like it'd say like, after paying myself, I should have made $38,000, but I didn't know, I didn't have the $38,000. And then I had like $18,000 in my bank account, but I had an $18,000 tax bill. And I was like, I don't understand. This is confusing. And a lot of people probably don't understand where that money goes. It goes to debts, basically. Like if you've got a van payment, that money is getting subtracted out on your balance sheet. It's not shown on your P&L. All that good stuff.
Yeah.
If you do owner draws, comes out on your balance sheet, not on your P&L. So it looks like the money's there on your P&L, but you go look in your bank account and it's not actually there. So back then, that's how I priced. I take my expenses, divide it by how many hours I have available. There's my hourly rate. And then materials got marked up 100%. That's it.
Which was high from where I came from. 100% is high.
It was super high. And then like on water heaters, I just kept it at 100%. And so my price on a water heater back then was like $3,000. It was like $2,900, something like that. The water heater plus materials was probably $850, $900 at the time. And then like 4 or 5 hours of labor between going and getting the water heater and pulling permits and all that stuff if I needed to. And I sold the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Just sold them every time. And so what we discovered, though, as we grew Prospector is, number one, we couldn't hit 70% efficiency with other people.
Yeah.
It's like I pulled it off out in the field because I was very motivated to sell everything and get that money coming in because I wanted to grow this business because I didn't want to be a plumber anymore. And my only way out was getting other plumbers to do the stuff so that I could sit in the office and do nothing all day.
Yeah.
Was my dream.
Yeah.
And so, but what we realized is those guys will not sell 70% of their time.
No.
They just don't care enough to do it.
Mm-mm.
And a lot of this boils down to like, there's that relationship between time that you have built in your price book versus actual time that it takes. We learned a lot of these lessons later, but like we had our price book built with time on the task. And once we started hiring guys, we could calculate like how much of our time are we actually selling. And it was 55%.
Mm-hmm.
So 15% less time for employees sold with the same price book. And that bumped our hourly rates up quite a bit. And then as we started to grow our business, we started to incur more expenses and, you know, lots of growth happened really quick. That was really expensive.
Yeah.
And so we ended up like running the same calculation for quite a bit and scaled to like, I think we were 5 million. We did 4.8 million one year and 5.2 the next. And it's all a big blur in my head, but
Yeah. Seems like it was a long time ago, doesn't it?
dude, it seems forever ago.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't, dude. The amount of stuff you can get done in 5 years is insane.
Yeah.
My life 5 years ago and my life today, there's a lot that's happened.
Entirely different. Yeah.
Entirely different. Very crazy. So, and the key to that is persistence.
Mm-hmm.
That's my new thing.
Yeah.
It's not consistency, it's persistence.
Just keep pushing.
Yes. It's consistently being persistent that gets you there. So what we discovered is that when you take your expenses and divide it by your amount of hours you have available to bill, it creates a high labor rate and your material markup's 100%. And for us, once we learn how to read our P&L, we realize there's a gross margin line on the P&L, and we've got money comes in, and then our labor and materials get subtracted out, and the money we're left over is gross profit. And for Prospector, if we could hit 54, it was like 54.3, I believe was the number. If we could hit that number, we had 20% left on the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
So our overhead was 34.3% if we hit 54.3% on our P&L. And what we realized is like some months we would have really high revenues, but lower profits than what we expected. And knowing what I know now, you could look at the labor and materials and the percentages would be high.
Mm-hmm.
And what would happen is we would sell a bunch of materials at 100% markup, and 100% markup is only a 50% gross margin. And so it would look like we brought in a ton of money, but we only brought it in at 50% margin, and we needed 53.4 to hit 20% bottom line net profit.
Mm-hmm.
And the materials were thrown off. So that's when we switched to margin pricing. Once we switched to margin pricing, basically saying, okay, the materials cost $100, so we need a 53.4% margin. We just said 55%. We charge this much for the materials. The labor cost is this. We need a 55% margin. This is what we charge for labor.
Mm-hmm.
So you can convert that margin to markup or however you want to do it. Like a 55% margin would be divided by 0.45. And if you know your labor cost, I pay this guy $30 an hour plus 10% state taxes plus whatever benefits he gets.
Mm-hmm.
Add all those up. There's your labor cost. Then take his hourly labor cost, and you have to factor in efficiency. So 55% efficiency. What does he cost me now for every hour that he bills out? And then divide that by 0.45, and you've got your 55%
Mm-hmm.
margin. When we made that switch, is like all of a sudden our profits kind of equalized.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Much better business model. But then we realized that there's some, like we sell labor and materials. Some of the labor we sell really efficiently, and some of the labor we sell inefficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the materials we sold efficiently and some of the materials we sold inefficiency. And so we ended up creating 3 different price points. One for low labor efficiency and low material efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
One for kind of medium labor efficiency, high material efficiency. And then one for high labor efficiency, high material efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 3 different price points. And when we did that, that was like...
It was huge.
It was huge because all of a sudden, like, if we were at your house, like, we started being able to bundle options.
Mm-hmm.
Man, who came across my screen the other day? Chris Fresh came across my screen the other day. And then I had one of my private clients was like, hey, have you ever heard of Chris Fresh? And I was like, yeah, I've seen his stuff. And he said he has this thing called value stacking,
Mm-hmm.
where if he comes to your house and he discovers like 5 different things, he's like, hey, you called me out for this thing. If we can fix all 4 of these things too, I'll throw that thing in for free. Which is basically what we did through our pricing model, where, hey, if I fix this thing alone or all 5 of these things alone over the course of the year, it's going to cost you $3,000. Well, if we got them all done today and we got that total time invest like that they're paying for into that 5, 6, 7, 8 hour mark,
Mm-hmm.
we put it at a lower price point. So we could bundle all those options together and maybe offer them to the customer for $2,000 if we did them all today.
Yeah.
And what that did is that, I wish I could like explain to people how to do this, but if you want to learn how to do it, just go to click the link in the description or in the comment down below, go to our school group and you want to go get the margin pricing calculator or search Ultimate Plumbing Business Spreadsheet. Just type in Ultimate and search it when you're in our school group. And you'll get it. It's too complicated to explain over podcast world. But when we started doing that, our cost to the customer per task went down, but our average ticket went up by like $1,000. And then our close rate went up it was like 48% and it went up to like 60%.
Mm-hmm.
So we served the same amount of customers, same amount of technicians. And that year we produced an extra $1 million.
Seemingly no more extra effort.
No.
It was the same effort. Like the guys didn't feel run down or burnt out, or it was the same amount of effort, just kind of a tweak in the way they operated.
We just tweaked the system.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I was like, man, the system really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember having that conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it weird that we just made like this little tweak in the system and it just created all this extra money?
Yep.
With the same people.
Yep.
It was wild. Yeah. I have this video of the guy who sold my business, Patrick Lang.
Mm-hmm.
He made this video for people wanting to get into the school group. He's like, hey, I'll film you a video. And film me a video. He sends it over, and it's basically him standing in a field with his head all the way down at the bottom of the screen because he doesn't know how to film videos.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, hey, if you're thinking about getting in Jared's school group, I'm the one who sold his business. And somehow he paid his people very well and made the biggest net profits I've ever seen. And I was like, dang, cool, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then he was at our event this last year.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to my neighbor, Justin Deese. And he was like, Justin came to me and said, hey, I was talking to Patrick, and he said that he doesn't know how you did it, but you paid your people the best he's ever seen in a company, and you held down the best net profits. I said, yeah, we did. And he was like, that's incredible. And I didn't understand how incredible it was at the time.
No perspective.
None.
Compared
Zero.
to anyone else, yeah.
And it was just this thing that we kind of accidentally stumbled on. I started watching Billy Stevens talk about margin pricing and efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brain went to work. I was like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes total sense. If we can sell more of our time, then we can create more money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pricing correctly is very important.
Yeah.
As we can see, created an extra, it's what got us from making no money as a one-truck to making $5 million and then adding $1 million to our top line.
Mm-hmm.
which was equal to about $800,000 on our bottom line. It was crazy. So very important. I feel like the biggest mistake in pricing that most people make, even if they get their hourly rate right, they're insanely scared to mark up materials enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's some sort of mental block where I bought this for $100 and now you want me to just sell this to the customer for $300?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yep. I don't know where it came from, but at my father-in-law's, everything was multiplied by 1.7.
Yeah.
So if you bought it for 100, you sold it for 170. And I've heard that repeated countless times in the group as well. Like some mass letter,
Probably was.
a physical paper letter went out to every plumbing business owner, and they said, "Oh, BTW, this is how we mark it up. Multiply what you paid for it by 1.7, and that's what you mark it up. Don't go any more."
Yeah.
That seems to be
the problem that we've
belief.
discovered, like that might work, but the problem we discovered, well, that's only a 1.7. How much? That's 70% margin, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
it
that smart.
So 70% margin. So if you want to hit 55% on your P&L, that might work. But what's going to end up happening is, like, if you mark up, like, you might miss out on like water heater sales, for instance. You know exactly what a freaking water heater costs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need to hit 55% gross margin, why are you marking up that water heater 170%? Why not mark it up 110%? Because the water heater cost is not going to vary.
Mm-hmm.
Now, other items where, like, I'm trying to think of a good example. My best one is under a kitchen sink.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pull out all the drains and repipe it. I got to sneeze. You're going to pull out all the drains and repipe it. And then you've got, that's weird, I didn't sneeze twice. This is weird. Something's wrong. It's a glitch in the matrix. Okay, underneath the sink, you're going to replace all the drains. And you're going to replace the basket strainers. You can buy like a $10 basket strainer, or you can go to Home Depot and buy like a $40 basket strainer.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can get P-traps for like 99 cents at the supply house, or you can go get them at Home Depot for $10 or something like that, right? The pricing varies. And then like some sinks I might use $40 worth of materials, but this one I have to buy an OD vent, and that's $20. And so now this sink costs, I don't know, $20 or $30 more than this sink. Or crap, I don't have any basket strainers. I'm at Home Depot. The only ones I got are the $30 basket strainers.
Mm-hmm.
And so the cost to go repipe a sink can vary dramatically. And if you just set your cost at the most expensive and marked it up 1.7, it's probably going to hurt your close rates. If you figure out the average and mark it up 1.7, you're probably going to lose money because your efficiency on it is so terrible. You actually need to just like figure out the basic cost and then mark it up enough to overcome your inefficiency on those.
Mm-hmm.
So the better way is to set multiple markups depending on the efficiency of the material usage,
Mm-hmm.
and have a few different pricing rules in your price book. That's what we discovered.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, real quick, if you need a good marketing agency, I've got the perfect one for you. mammothforplumbers.com/wealthy. We've used Mammoth Marketing for, the last 5 or 6 years in every single company, and they've always done a great job for us. They work with plumbers specifically. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're a great agency. Can't recommend them more. If you guys are trying to get more work, or you haven't marketed before, you want to grow your business, you've got to market your company. And one of the best ways to do it is to hire somebody who's specifically good at marketing your very specific type of company. Go check them out at mammothforplumbers.com/wealthy. Tell them you came from the Wealthy Plumber or the Jared Williams Show, and they'll hook you up. Enough about pricing. That was a long discussion. Upsells and options. This is one that, like, people go in and they're like, broke fix mindset.
Yep.
It's how I used to be. Like, they think about the customer and through their own lens.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, if you had a bad flapper at your house, are you going to rebuild the whole toilet?
Yeah, if I
Hell
know it's
no.
just the flapper, I'm going to replace just the flapper.
Yeah, I'm replacing that flapper as cheap and easy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But for me or you, if something else went bad in the toilet, we can fix it.
Mm-hmm. At any hour of the day.
Any hour of the day, super easily, relatively quickly. It's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But for a customer, if you go in and just replace the flapper and then the next month the whole fill valve is bad for some reason, or the gasket starts leaking on the tank to toilet, bowl to tank gasket, tank to bowl gasket. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
For them, that's a much bigger deal because they got to search for a plumber. They got to call the plumber. They got to get on the schedule. They got to take time off work again. That costs them money. They got to be there. Most plumbers are late, not on time, or given this huge window.
Mm-hmm.
And so then more time off work. They got to talk to the plumber. Then the plumber's got to come in and repair this thing that he just repaired again.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs them more money on their bill. And for most people, they would much rather just like fix the toilet, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
They would rather you do like a whole tank rebuild most of the time than just repair the flapper.
But they're never going to tell you that. They're never going to straight up say, just do whatever's required to make this go for a long time.
No, never. You have to present them with those options.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go there and talk to them. Like, number one, you need to introduce yourself, and then you need to tell them, like, hey, I'm a professional plumber. I'm here to fix your plumbing issues.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that they called you out for a toilet, hey, I'm the toilet master, and I'm here to fix your toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know, like, I am the pro at whatever you called me out for.
Yep.
And then you're going to go look at the thing, and you're going to properly diagnose it. It's like number one, like, think about the whole system instead of just the flapper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even just the whole toilet. Like, why did the flapper go bad? Is the chlorine content in the water super high?
A bunch of tannins inside the tank because the water coming from the well is nasty.
Bunch of dirt and gunk in the bottom of the tank. Like, high water pressure, if it's like the fill valve, all that stuff. All that stuff is rated for a certain pressure. You should be going in and testing the pressure. Would you want to put in a fill valve and warranty it at a house where their water pressure was 200 PSI?
No,
not at all.
Mm-mm.
So if you go put in a fill valve and you don't check their pressure, what are you doing?
You're running the risk that, like, your assumption is that the water pressure is good because it's usually pretty good, and so this should be fine for a year. And then a callback on a fill valve, dude, imagine how dumb you'd feel.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, your water pressure is 200 PSI. That's why the fill valve went bad.
On a return visit after the fact.
Now let me sell you a pressure reducing valve.
Yeah.
When you could have gone there one time, diagnosed the entire home properly, and sold the PRV on the first call with 0 callbacks, and you would have had a much happier customer because they probably spent less money that way.
And it's a better explanation at the end if you could run both scenarios saying, I don't know why this old fill valve went bad, but I got a new one in there and it should last a while.
Yep.
Versus the old fill valve went bad, likely because your incoming water pressure is way over what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be set at 55, and I measured it at 105.
Yep.
And so that explains why this fill valve went bad. Honestly, all of your other toilets in here are probably subject to the same thing. What would you like to do? I mean, you can have a much more intelligent conversation with them.
Way better.
Mm-hmm.
Way, way better.
And you look like you know what you're talking about, and you're able to provide them with long-term solutions.
It's professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think some other good questions to ask are like, how long have you lived here? How long do you plan on staying here?
For my own curiosity, I like to find out, when's the first time you started noticing a problem?
Yeah.
I like to...
Has this problem happened before?
I like to...
How long has it been happening?
Get a read on how long, like, they'll tolerate some improper operation.
You have to ask those questions to be able to build them relevant options. Because your goal as the technician is to be the pro, find all the problems, diagnose the issues,
Mm-hmm.
and then go in and build options that make sense for that particular customer and their situation. And you can't do that if you don't ask them questions.
Yep.
If they're planning on selling the home, you're not going to want to offer them a long-term fix. Or you might offer them a long-term fix, but you might not. You might recommend the more immediate short-term fix because that might make more sense for them. If they're planning on living there forever and it's their dream home, man, you might want to fix the more issues. Like you might want to find like water quality and water pressure issues and say, look, like you guys are planning on staying here and these things are going to protect your plumbing system long term. I know this is your dream home, so I'd probably recommend. I know it's more money up front and more cost up front, but if this is your dream home, like you said, then we want to protect this investment.
Yeah.
And this will save you money long term down the road and make your experience here at this home more comfortable. Super important stuff.
Yeah.
That's the plumber's job. And that doesn't happen very often.
No, unfortunately.
The one I can't get around so like in Alaska, we did boiler work. Your boiler's supposed to be tuned every year.
Mm-hmm.
I sold an incredible amount of work just asking, when's the last time you had your boiler tuned?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I asked. Yep. And they'd be like, I'd be like, we should probably get that done.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of people have, they have a problem where a technician goes to a job and there's diagnosing or testing that needs to be done. And they're doing the diagnosing and testing for free.
Yeah.
Rather than selling the diagnosing or testing. So in the boiler instance, I would go, somebody's boiler wouldn't be working. And I would say, when's the last time you had this tuned or cleaned up? And they'd say, oh, it's been 3 years. And I'd say, let's start with a proper tune-up. And I'll probably find the issue while I'm doing the tune-up. And I might just fix it by doing the tune-up.
Yeah.
But I'll do the tune-up. It needs it anyways. And then if we find something else, I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like 50% of the time, I would sell the tune-up. I'd get the money for the tune-up. I'd gain the customer. I would fix the issue in the meantime. And then not only did they get the problem fixed, but they got their boiler serviced and tuned up. And now it's set.
Yeah.
The other 50% of the time, I would get the tune-up. Plus, I would find the thing. I would get paid to find the thing that's causing their problem. And then I get to sell them on solving that problem as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I make more money. You can do the same thing in plumbing. When was the last time you had your water pressure tested? When was the last time you had your water heater flushed? When was the last time you had a whole home plumbing inspection? Mm-hmm. Why don't we start there? If I find the problem and it's an easy fix, we'll just fix it. If not, at least we'll have all this inspected. We'll have your pressure tested, your water heater maintenance, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll let you know how much it's going to cost when we find the problem. And then you're selling the diagnosing to the customer and they're paying you to do that, which you should get paid for.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid to find the issue. And then you get paid to fix the issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
It's a wonderful thing. And it gets you in front of more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you can sell a plumbing inspection and a water heater maintenance on the call because you don't quite know what's wrong, then you get to go look at all their toilets, all their sinks, all their kitchen equipment, and you get to check the age on the water heater. You get to check the expansion tank, the electrodes, the thermostats. You get to flush it and see what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Check the water quality while you're at it. Bam.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you have a lot more options for this customer.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back to like the pricing and you start doing the bundling stuff. That's where the magic happens.
Yeah. 100%.
100%. Okay. Very important. That's stuff that you got to like train your plumbers how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
They don't think like that.
No, they do not. You called me out here for a drippy faucet. I fixed your drippy faucet. Like, what could you be upset about?
Yeah.
That's not enough.
I put a new cartridge in it.
Mm-hmm.
BTW, quit putting cartridges in faucets.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Sell a cheap faucet.
Mm-hmm.
If they want a cartridge, then yeah, sell them that. But like, we don't even have cartridges in our price book.
No.
It's, yeah, this is dripping. Number one, if it's dripping, check their water pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, if their water pressure is good and the faucet's dripping and their cartridge is bad, sell them a new faucet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you would try to go repair that.
I remember the old school working at my father-in-law's shop.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of old school tool kits and parts kits and O-ring kits, and
Yeah, dude.
there was all kinds of different faucet cartridges.
Yep.
But then there were a big universal faucet seat O-rings and rubbers and fittings and pieces and stuff like that. And then maybe you replace the rubbers on the bottom of that cartridge, but the seat actually inside. And so there's a tool that you thread it on there and it cuts a new seat. And I'm just like, think about doing that today. That would be absolutely crazy.
What's crazy is people still do it.
Yeah.
Because we walked into Wind Supply the other day and there was like a whole wall of faucet parts.
That stuff, yeah.
We were like, wow.
Who's going to replace the C in the middle of the
cold
water handle?
I don't want that liability
No.
of replacing gaskets in a faucet.
No.
Like, I go to your house, you got an old ass faucet, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got the fix for this. Number one, I don't want to have to carry all that crap in my van.
Mm-hmm.
When I can just carry one kitchen faucet to replace your faucet with,
mm-hmm.
or one bathroom faucet to replace your bathroom faucet with, one or two, depending on the holes. Or I can carry a million different faucet parts, and I have to keep track of a million different faucet parts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I used my last
whatever that weird thing is,
whatever gasket it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at this certain thickness, and I need to go find another one.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. No, thank you.
Nope.
And then number two, it's probably cheaper just to replace the faucet.
Yeah.
If you're charging what you should be charging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I don't want to warranty a faucet this old faucet that's had thousands and thousands of gallons run through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to replace a gasket and say it's good and warranty it to the customer. And then it's going to leak. And then I'm going to come back and be like, yeah, we should probably just replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Just replace it, please.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to offer the repair, show them the difference between the repair and the replacement and tell them the repair has 0 warranty.
Mm-hmm.
Replacement, 1-year warranty.
Yeah.
And give them the option. There are times where like maybe somebody has this like like one house I went to in particular, they had these like custom Kohler faucets and sinks.
Mm-hmm.
That were like specific colorways and things to match everything in their house.
Sure.
And they wanted them repaired. I understood.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like a special order. It was like $1,200 for me to replace your thing in your faucet. But at that, it is what it is.
Yeah, the assumption is the faucet is a deck-mounted faucet, not one that's mounted on the wall and you have to demo tile and sheetrock.
Right.
And yeah, so the assumption is it's a simple,
normal
yes,
faucet replacement.
Your average faucet.
Yes. Okay, one of my favorite topics is lifetime value and customer retention.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I just said that like a Southerner.
Maybe.
Value.
Dude, you're getting there. You've been here long enough.
If you can retain your customers, then you don't have to buy as many new ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Or if you buy the same amount of new ones, you just grow faster.
Mm-hmm.
So your marketing budget goes much further.
Mm-hmm.
So many people miss out on this. They just buy new customer, new customer, new customer, new customer. It's pretty much impossible to make 20% net profits buying new customers every time.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah.
With the marketing costs the way they are now, it's practically impossible. You have to retain some of your customers somehow. So I think probably the easiest way is, number one, go out there and do a really good job.
Sure.
Because
if you're not retaining customers, I'm wondering why. Like, what the hell's going on? where the people that you visited don't want to talk to you again. That's
Well,
an indication,
they forget about you. Well,
I suppose.
so our next topic on this is brand and brand awareness. So imagine you call T&C Plumbing, and they're red, white, and blue, and they show up to your house with a white van, and the dude doesn't have a uniform, and he just looks like a plumber. And then you loved their service,
Sure.
just awesome service. And 2 years goes by, and you're like, oh, I got a plumbing problem. Who am I going to call? Do you remember the name I just told you?
I mean, I do.
You
but
do,
it's
but
okay.
like, give me
It's just a couple seconds ago.
2 years from now, you're going to be like, what was that
Yeah.
plumbing company that I called?
Yeah, no idea.
You have no idea. And so, like, yes, high quality service is going to take you a long ways. I see like old school dudes on the internet. Screw all that crap. All you got to do is treat your customers well. It's not true.
Yeah, I mean, treating them well is part of the formula,
It's
but that's not the only part of the formula.
Yes, it's a huge part of the formula. Treat them well. But then it's like you have to treat that like, number one, you got to be memorable, and you got to be able to grab attention and be memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to treat them well. And then you need to sell them on a membership, believe it or not. Even though everybody says memberships are dead, you need to sell them on some sort of thing where, like, you're their plumber.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but people want that.
I got a guy. Everyone.
I got my plumber.
Mm-hmm.
This is my plumber.
Yep.
It's like a weird thing that people have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because there's so many crappy plumbers.
I mean, in Alaska, I needed my snowplow guy. I needed a guy that I could rely on, that when it snowed, he would come. I know that I'm driving out of the driveway this morning and I'm driving through 8 inches of snow, but I know by the time I get home from work, I'm going to be driving through no snow.
Yep. I mean, you were the heating guy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You were, I got my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I became that guy for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because we did the number 2 thing on this list very well. We diagnosed the real problems.
Yeah.
I got to the root of the issues and solved real problems for people rather than putting Band-Aids on and splitting. And people are like, yes, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, somebody's like actually fixing real issues here.
Yeah.
Improving my system. And people want that. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you got to do that. Sell them on a membership. Memberships can be super easy. What's ours is $9 a month or $99 a year.
Mm-hmm.
They get 15% off all services. BTW, mark your prices up 15% so that when you discount them, you still make money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just make more money on the people who didn't buy your membership.
Yeah.
And on the people who do buy your membership, you make an extra $99 on every single call. If your marketing costs are $150 to get a customer and you sell them a membership, or they don't buy your membership, so you charge them 15% more, that covers your marketing cost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then everything else is money making at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of important. And then when they buy your membership, even if they don't buy your membership, continue to talk to them through emails and social media. So everybody should have a customer list. When somebody calls your company, they go on your customer list. When they go on your customer list, you automatically send them biweekly emails of information that's relevant to them.
Mm-hmm.
The FAQ on your website, you should be able to, if you get in the school group, we give you an FAQ with all of the emails as well. But you can continue to talk to them, answering their questions that they normally have.
Yeah.
And that just keeps you top of mind. Then take that customer list, and this is something I've never done, but we're going to do at Wahoo. But our customer list is going to get automatically uploaded into a Facebook ad audience. And we're just going to sit there and retarget them on Facebook, because retargeting on Facebook is like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And we're going to set it so that our frequency is like 4 times a month. So 4 times a month, everybody who's done business with us is going to see us on social media.
Sweet. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably cost us, in the beginning, it's going to cost us like $10 a month. But like at scale, if you've got 5,000 people in that audience and you want them to see you 4 times a month, it's probably going to cost you like $200 a month.
That's nothing.
To stay top of mind. Like, it's ridiculous. And you can automate that whole process. Like you can automate that whole process. Like, there's so many platforms that'll do a lot of that for you. Like taking for us, it's ServiceTitan, taking our customer list from ServiceTitan. You could use Chirp, Admitify, like any of those auto text things, go high level. A lot of people's marketing companies will do that for them. And like, if it's going into go high level, you can have go high level automatically add that into a Facebook audience.
Yeah.
Or you can do it manually. Just download it once a month and pop it into Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple. Anyway, retention is good. So retention is good for 2 reasons. Number one, lifetime value. So if I market to you, most people live in their homes for 7 years on average. So if I market to you and I spend $150 to get you as a customer, and then I can retain you for 7 years, and you call me on average every 2 years, every other year, I basically get 3 visits out of you. Mm-hmm. If my average ticket is $2,000, my lifetime value on you is $6,000. And I spent $150 to get you.
Mm-hmm.
So over a 6-year period or 7-year period, my marketing budget on those customers is teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Like, that's how people get low percent marketing budgets on their P&L. Also, it's a competitive market. There's a gazillion plumbing businesses out there. If I can get like a 50% return customer rate, I think at Prospector we were close to 60.
Mm-hmm.
If 50% of the customers that called me have been customers before, meaning I already marketed to those customers. So if I stopped marketing, I can do half the amount of work that I did last year with no marketing spend. If I keep marketing spend the same, I can either grow my business if my cost per acquisition stays the same. I can grow my business exponentially off the same marketing budget and do more revenue with the same amount of marketing because I have return customers. Mm-hmm. Or you can afford to spend double what your competitor who isn't retaining customers is spending because you already have 50% of your customers coming back. Mm-hmm. So you can just kick all your competition's ass because you can literally afford to spend more to get customers.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's going to make a big difference.
Huge difference. Very important. And then think about this. Then if you have a membership where they're giving you $99 a year, and you've got, let's say, like if you start mathing this out, if you sell 20% of all of your calls on a membership, that $99 begins to just pay for your marketing expense. And then if you retain them, you can grow your business just off the money you're getting in from your memberships.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. We kind of talked about this already, but brand awareness. I think most people are too lead focused. I think you have to be lead focused in the beginning, but most people don't want to put the time in, like creating content or building trust in the community, becoming like a known presence in the community. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a long-term play, but when you can start to invest in it, if you start to invest in it, it will lower all of your advertising expenses across the board because you become the company in town. Mm-hmm. So like at Prospector, we started making videos, like how-to videos. We started making memes. We did events. We started sponsoring local sports teams.
Yeah.
And I mean, our marketing expense was like 3.5% at Prospector, which is super low. So it worked. Mm-hmm. And like what we saw was our lead costs as we were trying to grow just went higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Cost us more and more and more to get leads. Mm-hmm. So at some point in time, we had to offset that with brand awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And what we saw was a dramatic decrease in our lead costs when we started doing brand awareness.
Yeah.
Because people already know who you are. It's the babysitter effect. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
I coined that term.
Did you?
Yeah.
This is the babysitter you know will do a good job.
You got two options. One is like, on paper, the best babysitter in the world. The other one's your best friend's daughter who's babysat your kids before. Who are you going to call? Like, you know your best friend's daughter. You have no idea who this other lady is. But on paper, she's like, your kids are going to come out geniuses.
Sure.
You're gonna hire your friend's daughter.
Yeah.
Because you know her, you like her, you trust her.
Mm-hmm.
And so same thing with marketing to people. You get them to know, like, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to Google and Google presents them with two options. They know, like, and trust you, but they have no idea who this other person is.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to call you every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of them are just going to search you. And then you don't have to pay Google.
Mm-hmm.
You get to bypass Google. That's the dream. Okay. Invest in brand awareness at the right time, though. We're going to figure that out in, like, the beginning of, like, if you started just brand awareness right at the gate, it's going to cost you a lot of money, but it takes about 6 months to a year for that to build.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have enough funds or profits coming in to be able to fund that for 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Before it starts to kind of fund itself. Okay. Customer experience.
This is a good one.
Thanks. You're the customer experience master.
Am I?
Yeah.
The customers love what they experience from me. That's what they've said. Most of them. Very few of them said they don't like it, but
I feel like customer experience is important, but I feel like what's more important is that you have a system for providing whatever experience it is for your customer. Like, obviously, It can't be a crappy system, but I almost think they want, like, when a customer calls your business, they want to feel like they're going to get their problem solved quickly. And so even if, like, your CSRs aren't the nicest on the phone, or maybe your experience could be a little better, like, we're not bringing you free pizza and flowers at every call.
Sure.
It's the experience, I feel like, needs to be one of, there's like a perception of a company when you call them and they answer the phone a very specific way, and they have a way of moving you through the process, and they actually have a process of booking a call, and they have a process of letting you know with a text message when your call is and what time to expect your technician and all of that stuff. To me, that's more important to the customer than, oh, that was a great experience. Like, it'd be better. I think it would be better, like, that was a pretty good experience, but I'm super confident they're going to fix my problem.
How great can the experience be? Like, it's not like that plumber came over and that beat my honeymoon in Venice, Italy.
I mean, we could do that.
Maybe
you could go out of business. But I feel like when I say customer experience, that's what people are envisioning.
Sure.
You get to make the experience so cool for them.
Yeah.
But I think the experience needs to be, when they call, you pick up your freaking phone. And you don't just say hello. You say,
right,
like, for us, thanks for calling Wahoo Plumbing. How can I help you?
Not, how can I make you smile today?
No, I freaking hate that crap.
Dude, that's
irritating.
Gimmicky.
And then, okay, yeah, we can definitely help you with that. Have we done work for you before? Cool. I got a spot on the schedule right here. Does that work for you? Find a time that works for them. Awesome. I got you on the schedule. We're going to send a technician out. He's going to text you when he's on his way. After this call, you're going to get a text message to verify your appointment. Thanks for calling us. We'll see you on at this time. Click. Like, that's a good experience to me.
Yeah.
The customer's left like, sweet. They ran me through their booking process. I'm very confident they're going to show up. And then if you just show up on time, even if you're not on time, if you communicate to them that you're running a little behind, you're still fine. Like, even if you're behind, you're still fine. And then you show up when you said you were going to show up, even if you had to communicate otherwise beforehand. and you get a text message. The technician's out, or the tech calls you. Hey, I'm heading out to your house. Just letting you know, I'll be there. Map says I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a text message that pops up with a picture and says, hey, this dude's on his way to your house.
Yeah.
You're like, dope, they're on their way, just like they said they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes out and he's like, my name is so-and-so, just like it said in the text message. I'm a professional toilet fixer. I'm here to fix your toilet.
Yep.
And you're like, sweet, they send a professional toilet fixer out to my house to fix my toilet because that's the problem I'm having that I want solved.
Yeah.
And then he comes in and he properly diagnoses your entire system. And you didn't even know, but you have high water pressure in your house. And now he's not just fixing your toilet, he's fixing your high water pressure, which is badass because now you don't have to call another plumbing company out, or you don't have to have these problems again.
Yeah.
That's a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gives you a bill. He gives you the price up front. You pick what you want done, and he bills you right at the end so you don't have to wait for a bill in your email or send a check in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good experience.
Yeah. As good as it can be.
It's that simple.
It's not, again, this isn't going to rival your honeymoon in Venice or fun time, but really the only thing that the customer wants when they call a plumber out is for the problem, whatever the problem is. I don't even give a shit what the problem is.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Jared's dad. My dad isn't surprised.
He wouldn't care.
No. I don't even give a shit what the problem is. I just want him to take that problem out with him when he goes.
Yeah.
And I want the guy to show up, and I want him to not mess up my house while he's here, and I want the problem to leave with him. That's all I want.
Yep.
And that's a pretty low bar, I feel like.
Super.
That's not asking for a lot.
Here's what's crazy, though. Most companies don't do that.
Yes.
And if you can just pull that off, it's not that hard. If you want to learn how to pull it off, go get in our coaching community, thinking the thing somewhere in here, and figure it out. It's not that hard.
No, it's not.
It's pretty simple.
It's a low bar. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't do wild stuff. Don't bring a gift every time. I worked with a guy who his thing was he wanted to call the customer beforehand and say, hey, I'm stopping to get a coffee. Would you like me to bring you one? Like, if you were coming over, my friend was coming over and said, hey, I'm going to stop and get a drink. Do you want me to get you a drink? That's one thing. But a random in a plumbing truck who you're hiring to come unclog your shitter, like, do you want that guy bringing you a cup of coffee? Are you going to take it? I don't either.
I think you should call. I don't mind them calling the customer and saying, hey, I'm about to be on my way. Do you need me to go grab anything for you?
Maybe, but I don't even want, like, if I'm on the receiving end of that call, what I'm hearing is, hey, you're a priority to me, but stopping at the gas station is a larger priority. So once I'm done with that, I'm headed to you.
That's what I hear.
Don't call me and tell me that.
No.
That is not a service.
Stop at the gas station and then call me. Tell me you're on your way.
Whatever you're stopping there for, I don't want to know about. All I want to know is you're coming to take the problem away.
Yeah. I think the wording of that is very important.
Yeah.
I think most people are going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you word it properly, you could build some, what is that called? When you do something nice for somebody, they feel obligated to do something nice for you.
Reciprocity.
The law of reciprocity in action there, where you can say, I'm on my way to your house. Do you need me to stop anywhere and get anything for you? Weird. I agree.
Sure.
Most people are going to be like,
I need a pound of flour.
So imagine that customer does say that and you're like, yeah, I can stop and grab that for you. And you actually like just stop and grab that pound of flour for them and go to their house and say, here's your flour.
Odd, unusual, probably will never happen.
Are they going to say no to your service and send you on your way after you stop?
No, I'm sure they wouldn't.
There's no way. No way.
But when you're leaving a customer's house, you, the technician, are finished up and you're leaving the customer's house and they say, hey, can I get you a soda? I've got some sodas in here. Are you going to take the soda?
No.
I don't ever take the soda.
I'm going to say, oh, no, thank you. I'm good.
No, I'm good. I got water in the truck or I only drink energy drinks is what I say.
I don't drink soda, you fat fart.
So, I mean, like I don't take a soda from the customer. And so if I am the customer, I'm not going to ask them to bring me something to drink either.
No, but I will tell you this last summer, owning Dude Wash, Joel was out on a job and I went out there to help him, and it was like 110 degrees. And I brought 2 giant water bottles with me, and I ran out of water, and the customer came out with a case of water bottles, and I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, my ears were starting to like clog up on me because I was so dehydrated.
Yeah.
It's freaking hot.
You got a tank of water in the back of those trucks. You never run out.
Dude,
Yeah.
those dudes pressure washing, like Joel and DeAndre and Christian, they just got used to it.
Yeah.
They didn't think it was even hot. And I'd be out there like, oh my gosh.
Dude, I cannot imagine.
Climb up and down. I was cleaning out gutters that day, climbing up and down the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I was like
suffering
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Not my
I would
thing.
be too.
I'm a little baby when it comes to the heat.
I need air conditioning.
Yes. Air conditioning is awesome. Okay. So overarching lesson here is like the stuff we covered on today's podcast is the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do those things well, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing we didn't cover was maybe the personal appearance of the technician. It's got to be decent.
Decent, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, don't send dudes out with like wild, crazy beards or unkempt hair or just dirty as all get out. Can't be stinky. Like, there's a level of professionalism that you have to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of like the white collared shirts with the American flag and your name on it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that. I think you could go like, we're plumbers. People expect a plumber.
Mm-hmm.
Most plumbers are freaking filthy. So I think if you just show up with like clean work pants on and a company shirt of some sort, whether that's a t-shirt or a polo or a button-up. The button-up's not bad, but I don't think it's 100% necessary. And you show up and you're not filthy and your beard is kept and your hair is kept, or you have a company hat on, and your van is neat and clean and organized. So when you open the door, customer's impressed, nothing on the dash. That's important. And then I think, like, if you're going to wear boots, put booties on when you go in the home. No matter what the customer says.
Yeah.
You don't want these boots on your floors. Trust me.
I either took my boots off or I put covers on. And it didn't matter what they said. Yeah.
So
you can leave them on.
Yeah. No. Trust me. You don't want these on your floor. You don't know where these have been. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, as a plumber, you're stepping in poop. You do not want these on your floor.
Yep.
I never wore boots. I wore Vans. So I just slip them on and off.
I only ever wore boots.
At work?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never wore
As a tech, yeah. I only ever wore boots.
Yeah. I wore Vans at 40 below. I didn't care. I hate boots.
Yeah.
With a passion.
Yeah.
You want to see me angry?
Dude, put a pair of boots on this guy.
You don't want to see me angry.
No.
All right. So that was awesome.
Yeah. It's a good one. Like you said, it's the basics. It should be pretty straightforward.
It's the most important stuff. And it is pretty straightforward.
It doesn't matter if you can't do this stuff. It doesn't matter if you bring a pound of flour or a cup of coffee to the customer. Like, they're not going to like you.
Dude, yeah, true. Yeah. Doesn't matter how cool. Yeah. Doesn't matter. One thing we didn't cover was like a lot of people, they like see all this stuff, but then they don't understand, like, the business owner doesn't understand that he has to be in the truck producing revenue until he's got enough revenue producers out there. And probably the biggest mistake I see in a lot of this is, like, even if they're trying to do this stuff and they're still struggling, it's because the owner is like trying to play owner, CSR, sales guy or something. And then he's got 2 guys installing the plumbing. Or they're like a single truck and they hire a helper. And it needs to be, you wear all the hats. You're the CSR, you're the technician, you're the GM, and you're the owner. And then you need to take off that CSR hat, hire a CSR. And then you need to take off one of your technician's hats, and then another tech hat, and then another tech hat. And then you can just wear the GM and the owner hat. And when you get to that point, then you're going to get so many technicians, you're not going to have enough time to manage your techs and run the marketing and stuff in the business. Then you hire a GM.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple. In that order.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it outside of that order, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. If you try to get techs before you get a CSR, you can't go be a tech, manage techs, and be a CSR. It doesn't work. You don't have enough time in your day.
Yeah.
And then you won't bring in enough revenue to make money.
Yep.
If you don't make money, you're dead. So, cool. Okay. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, man, I'll be here.
Okay. If you guys want to go check out our school group, go to, actually, links in the description are down below. Coaching community, we've got, 850 plus business owners in there, all working at doing it, making it happen. Lots of good, cool, videos from myself walking through this stuff. You get all of our spreadsheets, our email templates, everything we do for Wahoo. We're actually sharing with our community. So the second we create anything for Wahoo, it gets shared with our community. You guys can follow along step by step. It's going to be awesome. See you on the other side.